Hello, good evening. Welcome back to the channel. We are here in my garage. We are early, which is always good. We're going to ditch the hat because we're warm enough already. And even though it is November, we've got our Thank God It's Christmas hoodie on because we are here to celebrate. Now, if you just give me 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. I need to lift my chair up a wee bit. And it probably hasn't made a damn bit of difference to you, but I feel better. So welcome back. This is day 2 of the EU Server Professionals Tournament. Basically the top 8, the top echelon, coming out of the PYS Prove Your Skill Series Autumn Season EU Server. We're going to be following IKPA, their Kobni team tonight, which promises to be, well, very exciting, to say the least. We were following Jokes, who went 2-0 yesterday evening, which is pretty awesome. Now, it is worth bearing in mind, of course, it is a double round robin. So what we can do, actually, is we can just hop on over to the old leaderboard. And this is the current state of play. And the top 8 on the EU server. Pink, Serenity and Jokes, all in first place, 2-0. I don't know about the individual, the win-loss in terms of tie-breaking mechanics. Obviously, in a double round robin, we don't expect tie-breaking mechanics to feature too heavily towards the end. But for now, basically, we can consider that these 3 teams are at the top of the table. IKPA and APA, Advanced Polish Armour, in the middle at 1-1, and then surprisingly, of course, for everyone, Raid and both of BPS's teams, Gravitas, Speedrunnery, are in the 0-2, the very bottom of the top barrel, which is interesting. Now, this evening we're going to be following, like I said, IKPA. They've got BPS's Gravitas team, so that's going to be very, very interesting to see. And we're live now. 3-minute delay. We are live, which is super. Thank God. I really hope it works. Yes, it is working. That's good. Excellent. We are live. Amazing. Yeah, so IKPA versus BPS. And that's 2 or 3, best of 7, of course. Oh my God. And then in tour, sorry, I've had a really long life, I think. And then we're going to see IKPA versus Jokes in Tour 4. That promises to be super, super, super interesting. But, as always, I'm not the only streamer. I say as always. As of late, as of the last couple of years, the EU tournament streaming scene has exploded, which is awesome. I have got so much love for my fellow streamers. So if there is any team in particular that you want to follow, do make sure that you go and check out the streams page. Amonet is following Jokes, Fujit APA, Wild One's Helper is following Serenity. Every's got BPS's Speedrunnery team, Nino's on Raid, Ice Shot on Pink. This dude is also on IKPA. Manu on Serenity. Robert on BPS Gravitas. And of course myself on IKPA. So we're sharing the spotlight today with this dude who's got a really high effort thumbnail. I just took the art Wargaming gave me and was like, that's good. That is the right resolution and file size. I will have that. Thank you very much. Manu's done the same. Good on you, Manu. Although I feel like he's kind of buffed some of the colours on his image. Anyway, that's not the point. And the point is, we have got 20 minutes until the games start. As always, we'll just rock out a few games just to see how the old FPS. Just basically, I feel like I'm warming my laptop up just to get the FPS and everything in. So more espresso for rolling and games for us all. Oh, by the way, there is a poll in the YouTube, the live channel chat. Who is more powerful? And I've given you 4 very interesting options. I wanted to give you a fifth option, which was the whirlybird. But apparently YouTube polls, you only get 4. Now our frames are pretty low at the moment compared to what we would like. That STB is going to be a bit of a headache. What I want him to do is peek aggressively, not know I'm here, peek aggressively and then lose all his hit points. That is the plan. He's blind shooting us though. This wristwatch is just clearly holding us back. No, we're going to wait for him to push the next line. We're going to wait for him to get a little bit too... No. Oh no. Not sure how I got spotted. But I feel very sad for it nonetheless. Did my whirlybird get spotted? Is that... Ha! I would like to complain about that soft cover because I'm not that large. At least my tank's not that large. My medium tanks are not doing a great job of insulating me. And now we're getting outspotted down that line. What we need to do is just hold here while our team wraps in and rotates. Okay, we're doing okay. Well, we're not doing alright. This is pretty bad. This is really bad. I don't understand where my team... There's those 2 tanks, which I would very much like to complain about. Along with my frame per second rate. Oh, this TVP. How am I this bush? I would like to submit a ticket to support. Yeah, that was not great. That was bad. That was actually very bad. But why am I don't understand. Same settings, same tasks in the background running on the laptop. Frames per second yesterday, 100, over 100. Frames today, 60. Livid. Absolutely livid. There's literally nothing running. Okay, let's just shut that down. Right. Oh, I don't care. Let's try that again. Oh! I noticed the other day, I noticed earlier today, of course, there are these things in the garage which you can click on. And that got me to thinking that there are things that you can click on in the garage. So are there things that you can click on that do something? Because this is inside the garage. It's a mobile button. So if you click on other things, do things happen? And I was kind of disappointed because there looks like there could be lots of things which could react if you click on them. You know? Like, what does that do? Who knows? But I did find one. I don't know if I'm the first person to find it, or if I'm just really slow news. But that could be that little beeping sound. I don't know if you can hear that. I wonder if that's like Morse code. Not that I can be asked to check it out or anything. But anyway, I found that. I don't know if there's anything else in the garage, so have a feel free to click around and see what you can come up with. The deal for real. Slandering my T57 camo. This T57 camo is awesome. Why is my FPS low? I'm livid. Absolutely livid. Same settings. Same everything. Wow, this is going to be really bad versus the IS-7. I've made a mistake here. This was a bad spot to go to. I'm going to go towards what is C, or what would be C, basically where the bat chats died, because the IS-7, I'm not really paying enough attention, to be honest. The issue is that our team doesn't have the heavy tanks to play that ridge line effectively. And our TDs are doing absolutely nothing to control the IS-7. I say TDs. The Jagdpanzer's on the heavy line. So there's a medium tank somewhere. Yeah, Kerfuffles, it was a bad start. And I mean, like, I don't understand. I really thought, and again, like, who spotted me, how and where? There's an E4 somewhere up here. Right. I really want my FPS to fix itself. Invites coming through. Let's see if we can go 0 and 4. Click on the trapdoor. What trapdoor? Right, excellent. The Steam appears to have crashed as well, which is wonderful. You're having a really good stream today. So Steam decided to update itself. which was classic. Last one, and then we're going to be in for the games, and then you get to see some people that actually know what they're doing play. Okay, let's pay attention. Fosh saying D, TVP saying A. I'm going for C. Okay, we've got... I don't know if that's the proper vibes or not. Why is my FPS 60? Why? What have I done to deserve this? I'll take that. It's not the best trading I've done as solo, but as a team, it's agreeable. Right. %3 loss. Don't understand. Why? Okay, a 3K game. I feel redeemed. Not that I played good or well, of course. Okay, so I'm getting called out for being the slowest player in World of Tanks Blitz, which is fair. That is fair. I'm not buying it. I'm not even going to buy it. Alright, so the invite is coming. I really want... No. I don't want to watch this. Oh, there's not even a skip option. You know what, Wargaming? I genuinely hate this unskippable animation that comes from battle passes. It is one of the most annoying things in the game, hands down. Forget game mechanics, forget broken pay-to-win tanks. This unskippable videos is fucking annoying. Stop it. There we go, I've wasted some time of my life. Wonderful. Let's hop into a light tank. We've got 2 minutes to go. So what we'll do is we will accept. We'll ready up. We're on Black Goldville. We'll pull back. We'll go and find Black Goldville as a briefing, and we will join that briefing. And we will hop on over there, and we will wait for a minute and a half. So this is Black Goldville. And we're going to be seeing BPS versus IKPA. So what we can do is... Oh, the logos will work. Okay, very good. Wow, that map is super low resolution. I don't know why it's so bad. Okay, so apparently that one was just completely naff, and my eyes were hurting. So yeah, this is Black Goldville. It is one of the oldest maps in the game, if memory serves correctly. Now, BPS 0-2 versus IKPA 2-0. The pressure is sort of somewhat on here. And it really does remain to be seen how BPS Gravitas can sort of rally themselves from their pretty bad performance day one towards 1 and 2. This, I mean, day one, come what may, it wasn't super consequential. Now, though, there's a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure for teams to deliver, or like either to change their fortunes or to keep up the consistency. For BPS, going if they post another 0-2, if they go 0-4, that is going to put them in a woefully bad spot. Being 0-2 after day one, not such a big deal. Being 0-4 after day two is critical. You're approaching sort of like a bad point in your tournament campaign. IKPA, though, they've got that momentum. They're hoping they can carry it forwards. Looking at the lineups here, we can see BPS toying with the idea of some interesting. I mean, that is something we saw from the Gravitas team, BPS Dash. We saw some really interesting, tank compositions on Vineyards in particular, double 140s, superb positioning, pre-aiming. It was glorious, for want of a better term. And here again, we're seeing like BPS are experimenting with the meta a little bit. Double Sheridans, triple 71s, FE215B, 60 TP. It's an odd mix of tanks, but certainly you can see there's a lot of different tools there for BPS to use. IKPA, on the other hand, well, even IKPA, I mean, okay, one more 71, that kind of reliable core of the current tournament meta, with an IS4, which is an odd choice, reliable, but maybe not the best tank unless you got a really particular niche role for it. Concept 1B, beautiful premium tank, superb gun depression, great DPM, good gun handling, very troll armor profile in certain circumstances. What we're going to be seeing here, if the lineups stay the same, is we're going to be seeing BPS going in with an extra light tank, so they're going to have a hit point deficit, but they're going to have the advantage. For example, playing A. 2 Sheridans versus 1 will give BPS more confidence playing A. Conversely, of course, IKPA are going to have more confidence in this kind of built-up area between B and C. They're going to have more confidence to play this area aggressively. So it's these teams, as far as I'm aware, haven't met yet this season, even in the PYS. So we have to see how this one pans out. Your guess is as good as mine. I need more and more coffee. And we've got IKPA, we've got BPS, and the teams, they're going to look here in the garage. They're aligned. No. And even in game, they're aligned. Someone, be still my beating heart, someone, somewhere, fixed a thing. And I am eternally grateful. And our frames per second are still woefully low. But it is BPS red team up against IKPA blue team. IKPA from the north spawn finding Nagabator in the Sheridan. Quick tag for a chunk of damage. RG responding with some affirmatives. The situation here is good for BPS. For the time being, Ukolova has capped off C in his Sheridan. They're down by just over 1000 HP, and part of that is to do with RG and Nagabator losing a little bit of hit points. Part of that is to do with the fact that IKPA have an extra heavy tank, or rather to say BPS took a second light tank. Memcollar Crash, Type 71, good field position. Now, IKPA blue team, they've kept the cap. They've capped the cap difference within 80, so one kill would flip it. If IKPA were to kill a BPS tank, it would flip. The cap would flip into their favor. It's always an important mechanic to bear in mind. The timing for pushes and cap resets really hinges around the difference in cap scores. And Kiko Jones is in a very interesting position here. It has to be said. And BPS's formation, by and large, is pretty defensive. Oh, and quitting Discord has put up our frames by 8. Amazing. Now, pressure is slowly building on IKPA to seize the initiative, and the lack of that, only that one light tank, that's Dark Side, really kind of puts the pressure on IKPA here. And they are stacking a charge. We're seeing Adolf. We're seeing 71s and the IS-4 in the Sheridan rallying on C. Ukolova is pulling out that guy with a Russian name in the 71. This dude, who is bleeding all of his hit points in the city, is going to make the play for C. BPS are rotating in kind, potentially. Or will have to do some kind of rotation in time. And that is what we're seeing here is RG, Nagabator, 6K, and Vanessa pushing in. And what we're going to actually maybe have here is Memcola. I don't think he's going to be able to get safe. IKPA have capped off C, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to lock in any kills. Kiko and Sulur are the most readily available, but Memcola is in a whole world of trouble. Big rolls coming in. So Memcola, he'll go down. Solure and Kiko are in trouble. Kiko's trying to get safe, now maybe looking for one big roll. Memcola's down. Kiko is down as well, and Solure. And actually BPS are in trouble here. BPS are in a lot of trouble because B has been capped as well by IKPA. IKPA with great cap control. BPS not finding the field position. The team is just not gelling as well as they might like here. And they're going to have to do something pretty spectacular to pull this back. They've got a gun deficit. They are countercapping B, but Vanessa Boba is going to bleed a lot. Nagabator down. That's critical. That light tank. They really needed the Sheridan's Alpha. But Ukolova might be going for A. Interesting choice here. Maybe that second light tank's going to play out. 6K, it's a 3-on-4. B getting stopped by Vanessa Boba. Ukolova capping off C. A counter capped by Darkside. Darkside's still pretty healthy with 1239 HP in the Sheridan. RG Potent's going down to someone, somewhere, somehow. Warrior down. Vanessa Boba. Ooh. And it is a cap win for IKPA, and that's pretty messy. That is pretty messy. Not gonna lie. Okay. Yeah, that's tough. Kiko Jones really not able to... Kiko Jones not able to find the rhythm there. Paint the Farmers here. Ominous Gaming, Kerfuffles. A Furious C. Yusuf draws. Good evening, Yusuf. Bobcat YouTube, Pirate Storm Barbosa, The Deal for Real. Of course, lamenting my Pokemon camo, but I do love a good sort of like, you know, the T57 camo is mwah. Rock and Roller, good lord. Amazing. Good to see you guys in chat. Please keep it active. Please weigh in on the vote. We've had 27 votes in. And it's Keezus. Keezus is unsung. I'm going to close it at the end of the BPS IKPA games. So do weigh in up until then. IKPA BPS going in for round 2 on Black Goldville. BPS not finding their rhythm, and part of me is thinking, like, the talent is there. Are the losses of the BPS Gravitas team coming from their audacious strategies? Because they're kind of playing fast and loose with the rulebook when it comes to meta tank selection. But we're going back in. BPS again taking a double Sheridan. Are they trying to push something that can work, or are they forcing an issue that's leading them down nowhere great? Yukalova, Nagabeta, 7-star mercenaries, or rather I should say free agents at this point, in for BPS. BPS red team north spawn, IKPA blue team south spawn. IKPA leading BPS 1-0. BPS are fanning out, while IKPA are making a very interesting aggressive middle push. But are they going to get punished on the crossing? That's the question. And I think the BPS double Sheridans, 3 and 4, Nagabeta, Yukalova rotating nicely. This dude bleeding hit points again. Kami. I'm going to call him Kami. Kameb. That's obviously not his name, but that is what the name he's getting on this channel will be. And so Kameb losing some hit points. We're going to see a cap lead again. It's going to be Tokunami for IKPA with the cap lead. Yukalova caps off C. It's a small cap lead for IKPA. A very small cap lead indeed. Oh, Ominous Gaming. Okay, no, that's a good question. We'll check that in between. We will check that in between. Now, IKPA are doing a rotation. Dark side, Kameb in towards C. Kiko Jones. He is spotted. Picks up 2 pretty crucial bounces. I mean, that's around 800 HP damage not inflicted. Hit points are neck and neck after Kameb took some damage. Although Nagabeta, of course, now losing some. Flicks it back. BPS not trading super efficiently in the middle here. I mean, they're holding well. They're trading equally, but they're not capitalizing. But at the same time, IKPA do have the luxury of sitting back in the defensive position. Kameb thinking what to do. Salure, Crownwagen. In public matches, I never seem to pen these things reliably front on, and in comp matches, you just watch the pros eviscerate other pros in the Crownwagons. You're like, why can't I do that? Big roll into Adolf. Adolf 7777 IQ Caban for UK. God knows what that name is actually meant to read as, but he is getting hammered. And we are seeing a BPS push now on Kameb. The isolated Type 71 BPS pushing up unaggressively. It's a nice read. Kameb in trouble. And BPS not chasing the low hit point tanks, but chasing the isolated element of Kameb, whilst also looking to put cap pressure on A. And they have, and Yukalovas now through a cap stop counter-capped A, or at least stopped A enough for the hit cap points to take over in the favour of BPS. 6k potentially in trouble as they get pushed up by WoT and friends. But it's now 2 caps to none. BPS just have to do a sort of a holding job here. Solure is down. Psychopath Evgeny is low, found by Yukalova. Kiko capping B. BPS are looking for the cap win here. They're holding pretty well. They've shut down Adolf, lost 6k. BPS should be able to lock this one in and out with C ticking over. The Sheridan's able to run free. 3 caps to none. Dark Side, though, could potentially be a key element here. If he can get the shot on Nagabator, whoever gets the kill shot here, I mean, this is the game for BPS. It could have been, no, actually, to be honest, given the 3 caps to none, BPS had it pretty much locked in. Superb performance by BPS. Close fought game. BPS not yet looking comfortable versus their opponent. What we'll do is we'll ready up, and we're going to take the advice of the comment section. We're going to check who knows? And Rock and Roller saying it's Kami or Kameb is stone in English. Interesting choice of name. Right. Rolling needs caffeine. BPS going into Winter Malanovka. IKPA and BPS tied up 1-1. That'll be a relief for BPS. And this is something that's quite interesting. And what I'm suspecting will happen, and what I'm kind of hoping will happen actually in this round robin stage, with the depth of field that we now have in the EU server, I'm really hoping. Okay, I've put the FPS down to 43. Whatever I did didn't work. Amazing. I think what BPS... Let's see. It's still touch and go. IKPA, bleeding, will potentially cap off B successfully with WoT 3491. That would be a very interesting, very, very interesting B cap if they can get it. But they are being punished for it. WoT's in trouble. IKPA, Darkside going through A. C is capped. BPS are not far behind, and with this kill from Solure locking it in, BPS will have a lead, and a good lead at that. And there'll be a gun up, hit points up, 2 caps to 1, and credit has to go to Radicoso. Radek dying the honourable death of the mouse tank, slow and steady, and IKPA fell for the trap, hook, line and sinker. They just sunk so much time and effort into a tank whose only job was really to get shot at, and to try and bounce as many shots as possible. 6K looking for the shot on Cami, possibly Stone. Doesn't take it because someone else picks it up first. Good communication from the BPS side in play here. BPS, it's a 5-on-4, but the caps are very healthy in the favor of BPS, although hit point wise we're still tied up. Big bounces, 6K picking up 2 critical bounces. Stone down to Solure. It's now a 5-on-3. Ukalova, very low hit points, just playing safe, trying to keep himself alive for as long as possible. Psychopath is looking for Ukalova. I don't know if that's such a good call because Sheridan will be able to dance around this house versus him. 6K shuts down Tokunami, and the Sheridan is going down. No, the Sheridan has got Psychopath. Pipped Adolf down to 6K, and BPS confident in the win. Psychopath just going, you know what, I'm done. I'm so done. That's emotionally, I can relate to that state. I really can. I really, really can. Oh, the ting goes! The Tingidius. Amazing to see you here, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. Solid performance from BPS. That was a convincing win. Good damage numbers all around. Even the mouse, who was in trouble early on, was putting scores on the doors, which is awesome. Now we are ready, and BPS leading IKPA 2-1 now, and it was quite a strong performance from BPS in that last one. If they have found, if that is a rhythm that has been found, and if they can keep that going, they will be very happy indeed. Of course, the question is, can they? Can they maintain this momentum? These are the important question. Well, this is the important question. IKPA going back into Winter Malinovka, taking a Sheridan 60 TP and 471s and an IS4. BPS 95 E6, E5 Sheridan, the American tanks in the meta, those kind of heavy and American heavies, straddling a fine line between being a heavy and having the mobility and DPM and gun handling of a medium. The 95E6, better traverse numbers, turret traverse in particular in the T95, the T110E5, but the T110E5 having that reactive armor, a very good contender for a cap on B, potentially. BPS now looking to solidify their lead, take them onto match point. Is BPS, Gravitas' team, red team South Spawn up against IKPA, blue team North Spawn. Lovely to see such an evenly matched field here as these teams go head to head in Tour 3 of the autumn season. And there's a lot happening. And it is Kami again, who just seems to be always in the bleeding position. And it's a big hit point lead to BPS. If they were to drop the hammer now, but they don't need to because IKPA are taking it to them. Mem, Collar, and Kami are just really in trouble. And I almost feel like IKPA are kind of just YOLOing themselves at BPS, hoping to see if it sticks. The Nessie Boba are in trouble. Potentially going down to water here. Actually going down to Tokunami. And it's a very... Oh, there goes Stone. It's messy. It's a very messy game from IKPA. And BPS have received a very aggressive push. Although, to be fair... Well, no. If you look at the lie of the land... I mean, BPS had to receive the push from IKPA. I think IKPA just went to see if they could pull off that YOLO, but I don't know if they had appreciated the fact that they had lost 2k HP before they really effectively committed to that plan of attack. 6k in Sulu will shut down water. Tokunami, slow and steady, looking for a hit. That's a huge roll into Kiko. Kiko, by some miracle of RNGs, is holding on, will look to get the kill shot on water. And now 6k trying to shield Kiko. Kiko looking to do a bounce shot here, will connect. Tokunami misses, and it's a 4-on-1, and Tokunami's going, no, I'm done. I'm done. I am done. And BPS will be very happy with that performance. They'll be very happy indeed with that performance. What we'll do is we'll ready up. We'll just go to a be right back screen while I go to my settings. And we'll see what that does. BPS versus IKPA. It is match point to BPS. IKPA, of course, taking the first game, but BPS now on a 3-0 roll, which they'll be super thrilled with. Noting, of course, that they didn't pick up a win in either of the tours from day one. The Tingidius misses doing tours, I know. But you're here, and that's all that I can really ask for. So thank you for being here, Ting. Appreciate you. Anyways, IKPA, BPS, back in it on Canal. Canal! A 4-cap map. Canal, another one of my personal favorite maps. Actually, I don't like playing on Canal, but I love watching games, tournament games on Canal. It is a bit of a chess player's map for a match. And BPS here potentially showing us that chess playing action in motion, because we're looking at 3 mediums, a light, and 3 heavies. And IKPA are going to be very outmaneuvered here, but at the same time, IKPA are going to be significantly more resilient. Look at the lineups, the difference here in the lineups. Maybe we're going to look at a 2K lineup, a 2K difference. No, is that 4 mediums? 907. Oh wow, BPS are exceedingly mobile. We've got a 907, double TVP, 140, and a Sheridan for BPS. That is a lot of mobility on the field for the boys from BPS. Red team coming out of the north spawn on match point with a very aggressive and Yukalova's picking up that information, that spots And does 6K get D before leaving? And 6K has made the tactical decision that actually he does not want to get caught out by a wall of 71s as they come over D, and that's a wise move indeed. And the hit points are big in the favor of IKPA. And they do have C. They are chasing 6K. And BPS are in trouble here because they don't have the ability to really hold a flank, even by threat of position versus so many tanks. And BPS may be biting off more than they can chew with such a dynamic lineup, because IKPA are going to punish them for this. The hubris of their choice, and 6K getting tracked, getting pushed, getting bullied, getting shut down by IKPA, and IKPA are just gonna like extrapolate and exploit this hit point gun difference. And in theory, or not on paper, all of that mobility for BPS looks great, but when the 71s roll through D, there's not a tremendous amount that BPS can do, and they are on. If there was a back foot, if ever there was a back foot, BPS are on it right now. Part of me thinks that I'm not so sure. I don't know. I mean, it's going to take a tremendous amount of work and success from BPS to leverage this scenario into a win. They are down guns. They are down hit points, they are down caps, they are down cap points. All of the metrics that you could use to score a tournament game are not in their favor. And on top of that, they need to push, but they're pushing a lighter force into a heavier force with less guns and less hit points. It ain't good. There's no easy way to say it, unfortunately. And this one, I mean, we have got over half the game time left to play, but I mean, I really cannot imagine IKPA losing this. It would take a tremendous stroke of luck and no small amount of skill for BPS to pull this off. And I think they know that, and I think they are going in. I think they're going to commit for a YOLO here. Ukalova getting tagged. But good pulling back. Potence. RG's down. Stone and WoT doing a great job of holding on. Spitty shut down. Yeah, this one is in the bag. It was in the bag a long time ago, but it's just getting... IKPA are just locking themselves in further and further, and BPS just massively overestimated something. The elements, it was too many. They were too light. They were too mobile. They didn't give themselves the staying power that they really needed. BPS, IKPA, it's still 3-2. BPS lead IKPA 3-2. It's match point to BPS in this best of 7. But it's looking close. Canal was definitely the last match. IKPA 100% dominated. And actually, I think that was more to do with the fact that BPS took a pretty audacious mix of tanks. But looking at the lineups here, it seems to be we're going to see a change of fortunes. BPS are dipping into the meta, which is kind of counter to what they've been doing recently, and that maybe really work. That will maybe really work in their favor. 471s, an IS-7, double T100, IKPA, 371, 60 TP, double 140 Sheridan. IKPA will have the edge with that extra light tank, but again, they may fall into the trap that BPS had, where being too mobile denies you that staying power when the enemy overcommits. Now, will BPS commit a lot of heavy tanks to one flank? Will they sacrifice map control? That's not something we've seen from BPS. BPS kind of like to have their fingers in all of the pies. They don't like, BPS doesn't like giving up map control and information without a damn good reason to do so. And so here we go, BPS, red team, south spawn, IKPA, blue team, north spawn, BPS fanning out all the fingers and all the pies. Kiko finds the spiky end of Memkola. And C is getting capped by Ukalova. And it's going to be a good cap lead. Oh, Radicoso in trouble. Bleeding awkwardly. Hit points neck and neck. Cap lead, though, will go to BPS, not least of all because Nagabator in the T100 has got us swiftly into A. Although we might be seeing the golden, gruesome, twosome Tokunami and Kameb 121B Invincibles for IKPA. They might be doing a good job. Of rotating through. Ukalova does manage to escape that medium tank pressure. Probably they didn't know that there was a lot of medium tank pressure coming for them. And BPS are healthy in their defensive grid network. They've got A, they've got C, they've got Captain Nile through Spitty on B. They're well insulated through Kiko and Silure. On the right side, we've got 6K anchoring the middle, and then there's the 70, well, the T100s and the last 71. Radicos are low HP on A. They're going to be a tough nut to crack. IKPA have got 4 minutes and many seconds to achieve the desired outcome. I wonder if C, how viable C is. Is C doable? Oh, Dark Side is... Yeah. He's like, yeah, actually no. I can't do that. So the light tank can't cap it. Light tank can't get in there unspotted. And is now double tapped down. Hit points in the favor of BPS. BPS now on match point, looking like they could lock in their first win for the round robin series. And they've done a very good job of map control, cap control, and setting up. So getting C, getting A, and then setting up this defensive grid that they have here. The 7 tanks, and it's a pretty standard sort of concept. But of course the execution really varies. IKPA though, they have to time, ideally, when there's a defensive network is just very difficult to push into because they have the initiative on you as you push into very typical fire lanes. IKPA down a significant chunk of cap points, are making a play on C. Kiko gets found, drops down, and if A holds and C is denied, oh, Gwalova finds them. This is tough. Even if C goes now, there's not enough time. IKPA will need C and kills and B and a cap stop on A. And WoT is trying desperately, absolutely desperately trying to lock in C. And I think BPS have done the math and they've worked out actually we don't need C. But IKPA are looking for that low hanging fruit. They're looking for Solure. It's a low roll from Kemeb. Memcola will come in. Memcola is the low hanging fruit now for 6k, but Radek is there. That low hit point is 60 TP in the 71 in the backfield. And we're close now actually. The IKPA have done it. They've countercapped C and they've pushed in. They've got those low HP tanks off the field. And they found isolation and they've established gun control and numerical superiority. They are down so hard on hit points though. And they really need a... But Spitty, Nagabator, Ukalova are looking really healthy. And I don't think... Unless Kemev can pick up the kill here. He doesn't! Spitty saves his bacon! Huge shot by Spitty. And BPS with the GGs. And IKPA, I mean... It's as good as push, a good a strategic concept for the counter cap and attack as you could possibly hope for. But BPS held the position, held the formation long enough, and efficiently enough. Oh. What's in there? Ah, what is in there? Ugh. Anyway, okay, so there's some little Easter eggs. That's the take home. The Shirt blog asks an interesting question. Why are you guys playing on the EU server? Well, allow me to educate you. Following recent political events, namely Russia's invasion of Ukraine, wargaming ceased and suspended. And I mean, like, it was staggering what they did. They removed their entire operational footprint from Russia and Belarus, relocated outside of those countries, so like EU, the States, you know, other third party countries, and they sold their entire CIS server market infrastructure to another company. And so now what was at least in World of Tanks Blitz, what was the CIS server is now being run by a third party, like, developer, production company, in the same way that I believe it's either Tencent or NetEase runs the China server of World of Tanks Blitz. So basically, Wargaming still has like the umbrella control of the product, but there's now another third-party publishing company which basically implements and decides the direction that the particular server will go in, and does events and particular promotional materials for them. So Wargaming said to all the CIS players, hey, look, if you like us as Wargaming and you want to hang out with us and you want to keep playing Blitz with Wargaming rather than this other software house, there's a window of opportunity for you to transfer your account from the CIS server to the EU server. And that's what's happened, is a huge number, I mean, like, it's staggering how many people have come from the from the CIS server to the EU server. Although that being said, it's not like mind-numbingly. I mean, if we have a look here on blitzstars.com, we have the blitzstars.com. You can see the user data, and so there was initially like a big sort of surge where the EU overtook Russia for peak users and was kind of slightly behind on average users. Now it seems that we've crossed over and now we're diverging back. I mean, the EU server has had a big influx of players. I mean, we're currently on the peak is 27 and the average is 10. I mean, and kind of like previously we've had EU averages around 9. Or like, I mean, yeah, so like the EU average has been kind of around 5k. So the EU server has jumped in an average size. It's doubled. The average user number size of the EU server has doubled, and the peak similarly has kind of doubled, at least doubled. And I mean, we'll see how time progresses whether this sort of CIS EU server merger proves to be successful or not. I think a large part of that is going to be down to the infrastructure that Wargaming can deploy to make that kind of to make it comfortable for players in the CIS server region to play on the EU server in terms of ping, packet loss, just general connection issues. It's something we on the EU server we're just used to. If you're connecting from like Malta, you're used to like a ping of around, I mean, on a good day, a very good day, 50. On an average day, like 80 to 100. I mean, but then I play on from example, the UK, and my ping is around 20, 30. So you're kind of used to these variances and hiccups depending on where you are in the EU region connecting to the EU server. And I think probably those issues are magnified a lot, shall we say, for people further afield on this coming from the CIS server region. UK tanks, okay, very good. Let's go. I've taken my jumper off. I've now got me tank evolution hoodie on. Furious C, you found the trapdoor. I did find the trapdoor. And Ominous Gaming saying that IKPA looking like a snack for BPS. I mean, yes and also no. Like I said, I'm kind of really happy that the teams in this top 8, there's not going to be like a whipping boy. Every single team looks like it could beat every single other team. There's no sort of like clear cut, this team is definitely better than that team sort of scenario, which is something that we have struggled with, I would say, in previous tournaments on the EU server. Now we're going to try and do our climb here. FPS is not good. Conqueror's in trouble. Okay, my frames per second could be better. That would help. This pattern was really key in our good performance. Next game that we're seeing, Seriga Mozet Minoga. Oh, I'm sorry. The next game that we're going to see is IKPA versus Jokes. So I will put that in the chat. I'll punch that. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh! And our FPS, I've somehow managed to get it up to the good numbers. Don't know how. Actually, I do know how. I closed OBS. I shut the OBS window. I don't know if I don't know what the stream looks like. But I know that my frames per second are now better. Marginally. Loss is still at 10% though. So. .25, so we're unspotted at 05. We're in real trouble here. We've lost this game, potentially. This guy, that was dumb. That was dumb. Almost as dumb as that shot. Oh my god, life is so much easier when you have 120 frames. I don't know how or why. It just is. Like, significantly easier. apparently infallibly easier. Thank you. Right, let's go deal with this 71.
Track hit. Enemy armor is damaged. Enemy armor destroyed.
Oh, piss off.
We didn't even scratch them.
I think that connected. Alright. It did! Hey.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Ay, ay, ay. Where there's 120 frames per second, there's no way. Amazing. I feel like a whole new man. What we can do, of course, which is very important, is we can check the old tournament scores. That's what we can do. And let's just quickly bring up Strat Sketch and see. I'm still alive. I'm here. I'm still here. I'm still here. That's a good point. That's true. That there is still the mercenary, the legionnaire, the mercenary rule in play. Like, if you are from a country that was originally in the CIS server region, apart from Ukraine and a few others, you're still subject to the legionnaire rule, where like basically to be in a comp team, there can be no more than 2 of you. So like there can be no more than 2 Russian players per EU team in the tournament. Pirate Storm Barbosa, 120 FPS. I just closed every single. I've got 3 monitors in front of me. You check out. What I'll do is I'll share a picture of my setup on my Instagram later this evening after the stream is done, and you'll be able to see it. Basically, what I did is I had every other monitor, every other screen closed, and just Blitz running, and it was like 120 FPS. I don't know. Normally, I don't have to do that. Hey now, rock and roller. That is just pure skill. Matches. Let's just have it. Well, we can have a look actually at the brackets. All right, maybe we can't. Yeah, and we've got Cinti, Serenity, and Pink 3-0. APA and Jokes 2-1. BPS Speedrunnery 0-3, along with Raid, IKPA, and BPS Gravitas 1 and 2. So we're starting to see a bit of a stratification on the field now, which is good, which is cool. Not saying that the pressure is on or anything, but it really is. It really is on. Let's just go back into the garage, and we'll see when the next room invite is up. And IKPA, of course, we were playing. And the thing is, it's a double round robin. Jokes will be going into this one as the favourites. Jokes, of course, being 2-1. IKPA being 1-2. Yeah, IKPA were 1-1 coming out of this. So even, yeah, interesting, very interesting. 10:08, so we've got time for one more game. Let's see if we can hold the good old frames per second, and let's see if we can do anything in the 40:05. It's a damn conspiracy, I tell you. Right. Hold on. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Magically, frames are up to 112. I don't know. I don't know, mate. I don't know. That's really annoying. That's really annoying. It's a good question. I get the feeling the enemy's here. We're not seeing any traction on the grids 1 and 4 of the minimap, which you would really expect. So I'm expecting there to be like 3 or 4 tanks pushing through here. There are 3 TDs though, so maybe their Batchat and their 30B are playing super passively. Oh man, I really wish I wasn't in the 40:05. I want to push there, but if I do it in this tank, it's going to be the worst thing since... Yeah. Yeah, good job T110E4. I freaking knew it. I absolutely freaking knew it. I knew that the enemy was there. And yet I still peeked like a bloody lemming. Oh, I hate myself. And now I'm a one shot, less than. So if I peek round this corner, I'm dead, basically. Nope. I'm dead. Might be able to take one shot before I go. Yeah. All right, that's cool. That works. That's good. I knew it. I absolutely knew it as well. That's the worst part. That is the worst part. Okay, so Jokes versus IKPA. We're going into Oasis Palms as our first match. Let me just get my ugly mug out the way. IKPA, but it's not. And it is in fact Jokes. Amazing. There we go. This is Jokes versus IKPA. We won. Apparently we did enough for the old W. I'll take that. Thank you very much. Yeah, Oasis Palms. Interesting map. Interesting selection of tanks. Jokes running a single light tank, but it's a T100. IKPA also running a single light tank, but it's a Sheridan. Interesting distinction there. It's a mix of 71s. Yeah, 71s are the core, a Kran, a VK, and a VZ113 in company. IKPA taking an IS4 and a 60 TP. Jokes with the more dynamic lineup, shall we say, and El Polaco in that T100 is, I mean, there's a lot of pressure on the light tank guys, especially on a map like Oasis Palms. Big open sight lines, important medium cap, the open flank cap on, I think it's C on this map. Yeah, it's C. C is the big important medium cap. So El Polaco. And it is Jokes. Red team South Spawn versus IKPA blue team North Spawn. And we've got 60 frames per second, but that's because we've got this window open on the other screen, so we close that. And now I am blind. I cannot see the stream quality at all, but I am notionally having 114 frames per second, so I will take that. Oh, thank you very much. And IKPA pushing aggressively into B, Darkside, Adolf, Memcola, barreling through, looking to get under the Jokes roster. And it's an interesting position for El Polaco because they didn't push aggressively onto C, and maybe that's a good idea because WoT and Cameb are there. However, Jokes will be picking up the A cap courtesy of Tic Tacu. And Jokes with the cap lead. Jokes, well, hit points are neck and neck. Both teams have bled a little bit of HP. HP, force composition in terms of heavies, light tanks, equitable for both teams. Tic Tacu taking fire, taking more fire, taking extra more fire. Unhappy about that, I'm sure. But we are seeing Kola, a crash 111 kgs. Hey, that is how much your boy Rolling weighs as of his last weigh-in, more or less. Memcola is down. And Marcinek in trouble, but not as much trouble as Adolf. And Adolf shut down Jokes. Looking good, looking aggressive, looking competent now. Moving fluidly to shut down Walter. And I think BPS, you can look retrospectively and see like how much of a good job BPS were doing keeping that aggressive Jokes gameplay at arm's length with their kind of their force composition and tactical positioning. Psychopath Evgeny and Cameb now sort of in trouble. Hit points in the favor of IKPA, but guns in the favor of Jokes. Psychopath shuts down Venu. And actually this could be a huge play for IKPA if Psychopath can really stay healthy, and I mean there's two one-shots for him, 3 one-shots for him now. El Polaco still on a 2-shot. Patrick down. Patrick replied to my last video and was like, please don't call me Patrick 99999, just call me Patrick. And I was like, you know what, that's fair enough. Psychopath looking for Balwan. Balwan takes down Kameb. It's a low roll from Psychopath, but IKPA have come out of this very, very strong indeed. It is staggering to see. And Tic-Tac-Coo is down, and IKPA will take the first game versus Jokes. Max roll into Psychopath 800, or it looks like it. Huge game for IKPA there. Dominant HP wise, and I mean, to be honest, Jokes look like they kind of had them on the back foot in the beginning, but IKPA and just kind of riding it out. And this is what I mean, like, we're gonna see a really complex field as the double round robin plays out. I'm not expecting any team to go 0-14, and I'm not expecting any team to go 14-0. Really, it would be mind-numbing for me if either of those two things happened. If we had one team where they didn't drop a single round as a single tool, and one team where they didn't pick up a single tool. Jokes, IKPA. Jokes going full meta, full raid strat book. Sextuple 71s with a T100 El Polaco. Of course it's El Polaco in 71. IKPA maybe spicing things up a little bit here. We're going to have a VK9001P on the field. Psychopath back in the Sheridan, and then it's going to be kind of like a mix of heavies. Crownback and IS4 71. Darkside and a 60 TP. It's a real mismatch of tanks for IKPA, and that served them well. Jokes though leaning on the meta. Maybe this is one of their weaker maps. They're not so sure about exactly how to play it, and so taking a core of super reliable tanks will give them a bit of a crutch to lean into and onto in this second spawn, the second go on Oasis Palms. Jokes, red team north spawn, IKPA, blue team south spawn, and Jokes 0-1. Getting some key spots in, not many spots. Jokes are spotted apart from Balwan. IKPA are spotted only Psychopath. So huge informational warfare advantage in the favor of IKPA on the blue team here. 6 spots in for 1 in the opening 30 seconds. It's going to give them a lot more information to work with. And Kameb, IS4 and Digital Forest Camo capping off B. Looks like he's going to get it uncontested. He is spotted. He might take a shot here from Venu. Bounces that. Goes through the arch without demolishing it. I respect that tremendously, more than anyone may think is reasonable. And IKPA are going to be up 2 caps to none. They're down a few HP, about 700, 800. That's a small price to pay for their current cap lead, which is soon to be over 2 kills. When that hits 460, it's going to be a 2 kill cap lead, and the pressure, this is double caps to none, with now an HP advantage in the order of 2k. IKPA are just demolishing Jokes here. Jokes are going to be sweating themselves silly looking for an opening. And I don't think IKPA are going to give them one. IKPA here are really well dug in. C has finally gone over. Venu managed to cap it. Big hit though. And maybe Adolf in the 71 is the weak link for IKPA. Oh my goodness me. Adolf once more HP. Balwan will find him. Long range shot from across the field. And now Jokes with a numerical advantage will push in, try and leverage that as best they can. IKPA though still with the 8 points, still with a 2-to-1 cap advantage. They might be losing water though. Big swarming numbers over water. In the backfield, Norman Bates in the 71 picks up the kill. And Jokes leveraging this numbers advantage, and IKPA seem to be throwing away some tanks and hit points at crucial stages. Jokes chasing blood in the water. There goes Singh Karonika in the 71. It's pretty close, but there's still a big hit point advantage in a psychopath. This mobile element, the Sheridan, with his big alpha, if he can put pressure on C, and I think IKPA are gonna, if this game goes on, I could well see Jokes winning it, but IKPA's aggressive cap strategy has prevailed, and IKPA now lead Jokes 2-0. Oh my goodness me. That's that's pretty tough. Big damage numbers all round. For most of it, just Adolf really suffering. And next map is Desert Sands. Intriguing and interesting. Well, into Desert Sands we go. Jokes sticking with the meta. I mean, literally the meta. 671's 1T100 IKPA, who are currently 2-0, by the way. Coming out of Oasis Palms, sticking with a bit of a kind of a controversial lineup, and Darkside WoT are going to be in the FE215B, which I'm happy to see is featuring its tournaments in this meta. It was meta in 2019 alongside the Foch and the Prosciutto, but the Psychopath will be in the Sheridan, Tokunami in the 60TP, Adolf, Kameb, and Memcol in the 71s. Darkside offline, Darkside offline, Darkside online. 6 versus 7 is almost an auto-lose condition at this level. Jokes on the back foot. IKPA looking to lock in that third victory, put them on match point. IKPA, blue team, north spawn. Jokes, red team, south spawn. All to play for. Really interesting dynamics here between these teams. IKPA sending their blues under the bridge, and Balwan found the pointy end of IKPA. There's no easy way to say it. IKPA with great map control, and we're seeing water in the FE215B quick capping C at the same time. We're seeing Adolf and Tokunami double capping, single capping Adolf, single capping B. That's a gutsy call. while Tokunami looks to secure field position. IKPA are through the city. I mean, this is tremendously aggressive play. IKPA have got great field position. They have got 2 caps. They've locked down the ramps either side with enough heavies to make anyone weep. And if Jokes push either side, they're pushing into, and they're now getting crossfired by the tanks from the other side. And Jokes are going to have to sort of really take a moment, catch their breath, pause, and think about how they're going to do this, because they're down 4k HP. It's huge. This is Jokes have, to put it politely, shit the bed. And, oh my god, Norman Bates continues that trend. Venu and Patrick now pushing on Kamev. IKPA are like, thank you very much for falling into our trap. Goodbye, Marcinek. Adolf will pick up the... Oh no, Mem Collar picks up the... Oh my goodness me, IKPA. This is a slaughter. This is absolute... Jokes are being eviscerated. We're 2 minutes in, and it's a 6-on-2, 2 caps to 1. Jokes have literally just stopped. Sinkaronika has said, you know what? I'm basically done. He's not even taking that shot. He is Sinkaronika. He's just like, I'm done. That's over. GG. He didn't type GG, but he acted GG, and that's fair enough. I mean, I just perfect textbook execution by IKPA. And Jokes, they were looking so dangerous from day one, and now the fortunes have been reversed. And they could be going 0-2 in day 2, and this is exactly what I was talking about. This is exactly what I was talking about when I said, by the way, like, don't pay too much attention to like 1 or 2, like, you know, the first day scores, because every single team in this top 8 is capable of beating every other single team in this top 8. There is no whipping boy. There is no super unicum dominant godlike team. Everyone is fallible. Everyone is OP. It could go either way in any fixture, but here on Oasis Palms and then Desert Sands, IKPA have really found the measure of Jokes, and it looks like Jokes are going to try and do the same, well, same lineup again. IKPA, though, with this dynamic lineup, I'd be curious to see what they do this time round. They've kind of homogenized a bit. They've taken the extra Type 71. It's just Tokunami in the 60 TP this time. But still, I mean, IKPA have given us every cause for confidence in the 3 battles that we've seen thus far. Big move here for IKPA. Psychopath leading the charge. The rest of IKPA will be coming across the midline, looking for shots on El Polaco. Patrick getting found. And Jokes, it's their turn to play the city aggressively. While El Polaco, God love him, has escaped with, I mean, at least 1 shot's worth of hit points. He is a 2-shot. But it is the cap lead for Jokes with C. HP in the favor of IKPA, blue team, Southspawn. Jokes now on the defensive formation, but if you look at the map control, and I mean, like, from what we know about how battles can pan out, Jokes are in a bad spot here. It doesn't look like it, but notionally they are. They are occupying one grid cell with map control awareness over maybe another 2 or 3 grid cells around them. They're in 1/4 of the map. IKPA have got A. B is well denied by IKPA Blues. Jokes might struggle to deny a swift B cap by IKPA if they go for it. And IKPA now have got the element of surprise. They've got the map control. They are stacked in the desert. And now IKPA have got the luxury of knowing exactly where every single Jokes tank is, to within a grid cell roughly between. Basically, they know that Jokes are somewhere between C and somewhere between that rail within 50 meters. Every single IKPA know Jokes are in this area, and Jokes in fact are in this area. And this is an awkward situation for Jokes because they have to conserve hit points, prevent a rush through those rails, prevent a rush through the middle, prevent a counter cap on B, prevent a counter cap on, well, prevent a cap on B, prevent a counter cap on C, prevent a rush through here. They're kind of stuck in a ball, and they are a very good defensive ball, and it's going to suck for whichever IKPA player has to go first. But IKPA have got the cap deficit, so they do have to do something. Now the question is, of course, do they try and do a ninja play into C? And it wouldn't have to be very quick or long, just timed well enough and late enough that Jokes don't have the opportunity to respond. So what Jokes will have to consider doing is maybe counter-capping A with their own light tank late enough, but that's going to involve going up against Memcola and Psychopath, which is a tough call because the Sheridan's got good alpha and 71 is there. And also maybe capping B. B is also a tough call. Neither team have got great options. Jokes have got the advantage of cap lead. IKPA have got the advantage of field control. IKPA are the team that are going to have to do something, and probably they're going to have a look at doing a soft cap on C. It doesn't have to be a full reset, it just has to pause it for 6 seconds. And Jokes, if they were very savvy, when we get to about 900, 950, they're going to stack C, and that is exactly what they're doing. Sin Karonika is in. He's like, you know what? We know exactly what you're thinking about doing. You can't do it. We're in C. And Jokes are going to take this one. I have got the confidence here because there's enough of them on C ready to receive IKPA, and IKPA are, that's the speed boost, that's the tell. IKPA are dropping the hammer. IKPA now making that move, looking for C. Can they get the stop? Is there enough of them? Will they lose? B's going as well. Memcola's on B. Oh my goodness me. Actually, do Jokes have this one? I don't know. It's close. It's very close. Oh my goodness me. It is Jokes staying in the fight. Oof. Did you see the strategy there? Oh, I did. It was wonderful. Superb play by Jokes. They took all of the advantages that they had at their disposal, and they used them. IKPA maybe a bit late on the push, maybe underestimating the efficacy of Jokes' defensive system. But either way, you have to respect the awareness of Jokes to know they had the cap lead. IKPA were going to have to go for the reset and maybe a counter cap on B. They had to deny that, and they did. was superb. IKPA now, more or less the same setup. 571, 60 TP, Sheridan. On Naval Frontier, jokes, just throwing the light tank completely out the window. It's 771s. Which is extremely interesting. This is definitely not boring at all. Welshie and Arya Stark and Kerfuffles noting the circle of life. No, but this is the point. This is exactly it. Is that there is no, what we've experienced on the EU server in the past, like a year or 2 years or 3 years ago, is there were some teams that were just like, you're never gonna win. Like you might put a couple of rounds on, you maybe put one tour on, but you're at the bottom of the round robin. That's not what we've got in this season. What we've got is 8 teams which are all very good, which can all put the hurt on each other. And so the crux becomes consistency and execution. Jokes, red team North Spawn, match point to IKPA, blue team South Spawn. IKPA, with the slightly lighter lineup, they're down about 600 HP from the gun, and that is because they brought a light tank. Psychopath Evgeny in the Sheridan. It is a wall of Type 71s for jokes. IKPA will be like going, why? What are you doing? What's the plan? What's the point of this? Jokes stacking 4 71s on the climb and keeping 3 loosey-goosey. Sinkaronika, Balwan and El Palaco will have to receive Darkside Mem. Cola, big hit from Tokunami into Sinkaronika. And we're seeing a push here, and Sinkaronika is maybe getting focused, or is it going to be Balwan? It is going to be Balwan. Oh, Tokunami shoots the wall. Kameb in trouble. Kameb in all sorts of trouble. Norman Bates fluffs a shot. There's a lot happening. The teams have stuck their claws into each other. We've got everyone in the frame. Marcinek low in trouble. Psychopath Evgeny looking for the load, looking for the roll, will have. And Sinkaronika and Marcinek are down. It's a gun advantage to IKPA. They've lost Adolf and they've lost Kamib, but Balwan is down. It's a 5-on-4. Venu low, Patrick insulating. Tokunami will take a hit from El Palaco, but Darkside is there. And IKPA will shut down Jokes 3-1. It's a 4-on-2 with no caps on the field and a big HP advantage in the favor of IKPA. One has to consider Psychopath Evgeny rolling into Patrick. Patrick, low HE rolling water. Darkside shutting him down, and that is IKPA with the victory. Superb, absolutely superb. Simon L is here, and that is a well done to IKPA, and that will take IKPA up to 2-2, and that will take Jokes down to 2-2. So we are going to see that kind of that opening of the field, somewhat, shall we say? And let's just quickly drop. into.
Let's get this show on the road.
Right, let's see. Okay, we don't have... aware that I've left the logos up. Clearly these are not teams.
Penetration.
2 HP. It's not looking good.
Penetration. Enemy armor is hit. The loader's boarded. Frag hit. Enemy armor is damaged. Enemy armor destroyed. We've damaged them. Penetration. Enemy vehicle destroyed. Penetration. We've damaged them. Enemy armor is hit.
This sucks. This sucks so much. I reckon I could defend this position most easily. Don't know. Who, how, why, and where. Ah, shit.
Halo, this vehicle has had it.
Ah. I tried. I really tried. I really tried.
Let's go.
Okay. No, frick off. What are we up against?
We've damaged them. Penetration. Enemy armor is hit. Gotcha. Enemy armor is damaged.
Okay, both TDs are in the middle, which makes me think that the heavies are inside, which makes me think that there's no one there, which makes me think that I can push.
We've damaged them.
Oh no, take that back.
Enemy armor is damaged. Enemy armor is damaged. Penetration. We've damaged them. Enemy armor is hit. Got him.
Oh yeah. Diego Rodriguez is like, bruh, we're still playing this game. Really? It's like, yeah, a few people are, you know. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. Is we can hop on over to the old results screen. We can refresh that bad boy. We can stick myself on the other side, because we can. And we can have a quick look at the scores on the doors and APA in pink. This is exactly what I was talking about. No one, absolutely no one, even after day 2 is undefeated. It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. APA in pink, 3-1. Serenity, we're still pending their score. They may yet go 4-0. IKPA 2-2. Jokes are 2-2. BPS are both 1-3. Raid are 0-3. So Raid versus Serenity is the one to watch, and that would be very interesting depending on the result that we get. Whether we get a whether we get a 0-4 and a 4-0, or if we get like more mixed teams, shall we say? Let's just have a quick look. What are my missions at? I've done my week 1, I've done my week 2. Japanese, British. It's all British, isn't it? It's all British. It's all vinegar. We're still waiting on that last result. Dead rail. Ooh. With a medium tank disadvantage. It's actually kind of good for me because I'm going to go for C. I'm going to go into this spot here and I'm going to look over C. What I need is for him to go passively. Worst case scenario, I got spotted here and fan throw my HP before I even get up there. Best case scenario, Vickers is smart enough to wait until someone caps C before spotting them. It's not good. It's not a good look. We're dead. Yeah, we did. Don't have the pen for the E100 head on, and I don't think I've got the spotting mechanics because I think this latest update has nerfed bushes. Yes. Quantities.
Enemy armor destroyed.
A75 is a very low HP tank indeed. He's gonna do it. He is gonna be that stupid. He's gonna do it. He's gonna peek. Fine. He's not gonna peek. He's smarter than I thought he was. He peeked the other. He peeked. He just peeked the other side. Which is hilarious. Let's have a quick butch. Mon Dieu! The results are in. And they are, as anyone could have guessed them to be. Diego, it's been good. It has been good. It has been good. All right. Let's go over to the results. This is good because what I said has come to pass, which there is no team without a win and there is no team undefeated, which after day 2 in a double round robin on the EU server, that would have been like a pretty safe bet up until this season, maybe even the last season. The CIS merger though has clearly made the top 8 a much more competitive affair because it is still wide open. Obviously some teams are in better position than others. APA, Pink and Serenity are all top of the leaderboard, 3 and 1. IKPA jokes 2 and 2, and then you've got the BPSs and Raid 1 and 3. Now this is 4. This is 4. This is 4 tours out of 14 played. So basically each team is playing in 14 best of 7s, and we've seen 4 of those. So we're about like a third, under a third. Yeah, we're just under a third of the way through. But there's still no one with a very, very clear-cut edge over the opponents. Certainly, there's still so many more matches to happen that literally anything could happen yet. So it's still super early. We still can't call it, which I think is great. Obviously, the teams are going to be sweating a little bit after this one. But there's no one that's there's no one that's out, and there's no one that's definitely in. Certainly, teams at the top, obviously, more breathing room than teams at the bottom. But the field is still open, which is really good to see. Now, I don't know. I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow. I'm going to be playing football instead because, But obviously, keep an eye on the tournaments tab. My fellow streamers will be doing an excellent job of covering all of those matches, so do tune in. The race for Buck, for the Blitz Ultimate Cup, for the top 4, for the big moolah, the prize money is going to be pretty hot this year. I don't think you want to miss it. So, thank you very much for tuning in. It has been a pleasure. I've very much enjoyed streaming. We've kept our win rate. 67.2. My win rate tanked. Like the first week or two after the merger, I was in like the low mid 50s on average. I was just like, I don't understand what's going on, and I think I've recovered a little bit, which is nice. But so yeah, thanks for tuning in. I'm not going to be streaming Wednesday, Thursday. I might be streaming over the weekend. We'll see. But yeah, if I don't cover any more games before the end of the season, of course, best of luck to all the teams. Thank you for the excellent gameplay and for letting me commentate for you. And I'm looking forward to many more good things to come. This is Rolling Swarm signing out for now, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now.